I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Ryan Davis, and you are watching the TFU Podcast.
Welcome into another episode of TFU.
Let's go!
Today we have actor, comedian, social media superstar, Alphonso McAuley.
What up?
Man,
what up?
welcome, man.
Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm glad you made it, man. We went over your history. You got an interesting path.
I got a little path. I got a little something.
Yeah,
You're the go-to guy when they need a movie about black people doing something first.
I've been in a few of those. I've been the first black milkman.
We was tripping on that. Yeah, he was the first one to point that. I was like, yeah, you might be on
Been
something.
some first black. Mm-hmm. Yeah. First black, yeah.
But it looks like you were born in Connecticut. How was Connecticut?
New Haven. They nickname it Pistol Wave in New Haven. The demographics is wild, you know. But it was great, man. East Coast. I love the East Coast. Just my roots from there. But yeah, man, it's like the demographics is wild because you got Yale, New Haven right there, and then right around it you got the hood.
Oh,
you know?
for real?
So it's kind of
right
like right. So you got like USC. You know, you got USC.
Okay.
And then all around you got
South Central,
Hoover Crip, all of that. You got all of that. You know.
No, that's funny. Only thing I know about Connecticut, I know ESPN is somewhere around there, right?
So yeah, so I believe so. Yeah,
I've been to Connecticut. I know what you're talking about.
Subway as well is big Milford, Connecticut. So that's
okay.
I've been to Greenwich.
Okay.
And then I know that Greenwich is really nice.
Yeah.
And then Stanford.
Okay, go Stanford, you know.
Yeah.
All right, okay. And then Waterbury, they call them water bugs up there. So you know what I'm saying.
So when did you move to LA?
I was a kid, man. My parents, they were like, you know, we want to get out from the East Coast. And funny, man, people be thinking I make it up. But my father at the time, he was like, you know, I found a nice black neighborhood out in California. And we was like, okay, cool. And then ended up moving to Compton. We was like, okay, you know, Compton. It was kind of wild. And, hey, you know, so we was like, all right, what? Okay, you know.
So you went from
New Haven,
yeah, which is really nice.
Right. I mean, well, you know, in certain areas,
you said around the corner. You said around the corner.
Yes.
Some static. Did you stay around the corner?
We was in the hood. Yeah, we didn't even know we were in the hood. You know, it's one of those things where when you're a kid, you kind of like, oh, is this the hood? You know what?
Really, it's funny,
you know?
like, because I moved to I went to school in Arkansas.
Okay.
So I went to moved to school in Arkansas, and their version of the hood, there's a lot of grass, there's trees. LA's version of the hood, there's not so much grass and there's not so much trees. At least not where I'm from. Right.
You got palm trees and the water, so you kind of go like, all right, you know.
Right.
LA's hood's a little different.
It actually looks like a hood. It looks like a concrete jungle.
Yeah, one street over, you know, depending on where you are, this is what? you from where? You know, it was LA,
So was
man.
that a big culture shock for you?
Nah, a little bit, but not too much. You know, it was like, you know, you just kind of adapt, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's like you're a kid, you kind of go like, all right, you know, like you just kind of adapt where you are. You know, you just, all right, cool. You just fill it out and just learn the surroundings, make new friends, you know. Because as a kid, you know, it's like you make new friends real quick. You got a bike, I got a bike. All right, cool, we friends. It's like, you know what I mean?
Oh, your bike didn't get stolen.
My brother's bike got stolen.
Yeah.
Back in New Haven. Yeah, it was one of them dudes that, man, this is nice, but let me see this bike real quick.
Dang.
And then You know,
never came back.
Did you deal with any Bloods Crip tensions?
There was a Crip that he was actually going to our church at the time, and man, it was wild because he was heavy Cripping, but he was still in church though. So
that's crazy.
You know, he wasn't a blood for Jesus, but he was Crip. You know, and it was wild, man, because like, you know, he was in and out, and his parents, his father was a deacon, and his mom was she was just kind of like on the usher board or whatever. So, but I wonder what happened to that brother, man. Earl was his name. Earl. They'd be like, hey, that's Earl right there.
Did Earl make it out?
I don't even know, man, but I just remember Earl was just hard. He comes to service, man. He's like, dang, he banging on the Lord. This is crazy. Like it was wild, but yeah, you know. So
I know you went to college. Mm-hmm. Did you study acting in college?
I took a Shakespeare class just because, like, just randomly, you know, got into that, and it was interesting, man. That was the first time I, you know, hearing all the thee and thou, and is this the dagger I see before me? You know, but it was interesting, man. It was a cool class, and they had a little fun there. But no, mainly I studied film in college.
Okay, so you're gonna be like a director or shooting?
I really took a liking to shooting, you know, and just putting the story together, you know. So
that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, man. So
especially for your career, because we know you were a big Vine person.
Right. Vine.
We know you were a huge Vine person. Did you land any opportunities at a young age as far in acting or any of those things, or did it come later?
No, it was later. I mean, you know, as far as you know, Sunday morning, you know, the Sunday service, Easter service, doing like speeches and stuff. You know, you get in front of the congregation, and you got to recite a scripture or something. That was like my first like ever, you know, experience in front of a performing, if you will, in front of a crowd, you know. So, but no, not anything in the industry, but that kind of came later on. So, you know.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah. So, like, how did Fat Albert happen?
That was. Let's see. I mean, it kind of led into. I got into all of this stuff, man, just almost like happenstance. You know, I was. At the time, I got into a class when I was in 12th grade, got into a theater class, and it was a counselor that was like, you should try theater. You should try it. You know, you'd be great. And I was like, I don't know, because I don't know. So she was like, just give it a try. You got to get an extra elective. Just try it. And I was like, okay. So I got in there, and it kind of started this thing of where I fell in love with improv. So improv was like the thing. And it was like, okay, I look forward to seeing, you know, getting a group or whatever, getting together and just kind of making up stuff top of your head, you know. So it kind of started like that. And then I got into a play, and then somebody else saw me. You should get in a play at the church too, because the Lord would love it, you know. So I was like, okay, you know, let me do it. You got to be a willing worker for the Lord, you know. It's like, so, you know, I guilt trip you in the congregation, you know. But so then I jumped into a play at church, and then someone else saw me there and was like, brother, you funny, man. You should get on stage. You want to get on stage, do some stand up? I was like, yeah, I'll try it. So then I got on stage, did some stand-up.
And you're only in 12th grade, so you 18?
No, now, 18, going on 19. So I tried some stand-up, and then, and it was like the reception was great, man. They, you know, standing ovation, first performance. I was like, oh,
damn.
Wow. Yeah, it was crazy. And then from there, I was, my brother was dating this girl at the time, and she was into the commercials and things like that. She said, you're really funny. You should call my agent. I said, okay, well, yeah, I'll call him. And then called him, and then they was like, we'll sign you. And I was like, oh, okay. And so.
Did they see anything, or just after speaking to you?
We spoke, and then they said, I happened to read a Pepsi spot. You know, I was like, okay, let me get Pepsi. You know, I had to read a little Pepsi joint. And they was like, we'll take them. So they signed me there. And I was like, okay. And then I just started booking commercials, and then the commercials kind of landed. You know, they start going, and they were starting to pile up, and I'm like, yo, and then it kind of went into this thing about, you know, hey, you want to get in some theatrical stuff, because it was just mostly commercials. And my agent called me at the time, said, I got this film you want to audition for. It's called Fat Albert. And I was like, oh, you know,
right.
And that's how that started. So
what was your big commercial? Any national ones?
Yeah. I had about maybe about 40 or 50 nationals.
40 to 50 nationals?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a lot of different spots.
Okay, I know, especially back then, nationals paid about $150.
Oh, they was crazy. Because it was.
And you had 40 of them?
Yeah, man. It was it was crazy, man. It was a blessing.
So you changed the life of your family almost.
It was, I mean, for the most part, it was cool, yeah. And so like, it just basically, people would see my face, and, oh, that's that one dude, So that helped because commercials are pretty much everywhere. So that's that one dude, I know him, and
right.
I'm like, what I know you from? You go to,
What was the big one?
Did you go to Lincoln High? Let's see, a big one. Trying to think.
Or even the one that you liked the most. Or
there
the
was
one
I
that
did with
people
LeBron.
saw you the most.
I did a LeBron joint. It was a Sprite joint where LeBron, he was like, we were all sitting on the couch and he's like, man, my neck's feeling kind of funny. And then we're like, what? Funny how? And then he has like this bottle, like he just faked it like it was his neck cracking or something to scare all his friends, But that was a spot where everybody was like, yo, you in a LeBron spot. You was in LeBron.
What did you do in that commercial?
I was the dude that was kind of like, man, what you talking? Funny how? And so
right.
Yeah, so it was good, man. It was like we just went out there to Cleveland and shot that thing, and it was like, all right, what's next? So
how was acting with LeBron?
It was good, man. I mean, at the time, he was, fresh, new. I mean, of course, like super, super hot, man. It was just like, he'd go anywhere. It's just, it was crazy. So during the spot, it was funny. Like there was, that people knew where we were shooting. Like people, I guess locals who were there knew that, oh, they're shooting in this house. So there was a lot of people. Like we pulled up the production van. We pulled up to the getting out the shuttle. And it was like all these people kind of surrounded the house, and he was waiting. And it was like the first time, we like, okay, LeBron's coming. All right, what's up? So then they had a decoy little limo drive up, and everybody rushed the limo, and then he popped through with like a little, they slid like a little Honda or something in there. He got out that and ran in the house, so nobody saw him get out. They attacked the limo.
That
I was like,
is so funny.
But it was dope, man. They sent a little decoy. I was like, okay, I'm right. Smooth.
So it's hard to land commercials. And,
yeah.
To get 40 or 50 nationals, what the hell was you doing in them auditions?
He got it.
I was
no, I can tell he got your personality.
Man, again, I was just the thing about it, man, is I was improvising a lot. I was just off book. They'd be like, read these lines, and I'd be like, what lines? I would just I would read them, but I would just remix them or just make it my own, and they. Apparently they loved it.
But you wasn't taking acting classes. You didn't do none of that stuff in school.
Yeah, no.
It was all natural.
It just, it was a blessing, man. I just, that's something, I mean, I've been doing for, my whole life. I mean, just since I was a kid, man, and just, make people laugh, man. Just had that energy. Just, walked in the room. People like, who's this kid? Who is this?
But you know what? That what makes people like remember you.
Yeah.
They remember you from that audition. Oh, remember the one, because a lot of times I think, especially when people come from Hollywood and from other places,
right.
I mean, well, they come to LA to be in Hollywood.
Right.
They're so uptight.
Right.
They're so wound up.
Right.
Their personality sometimes doesn't reign through.
Right. And I feel like you have to, it's the energy. People can feel the energy. They they look and they be like, okay, I like this dude.
I like that.
Yeah. So, and that's what it's about, man. Life. I love life, man. It's just, you got to have that good energy, and just people, that's why I get phone calls, people, but even still, man, how you been, man? It's just, I just want to see you, man. You around? I'll be like, yeah, I'm chilling, but I'm a little busy now. It's kind of crazy, but, full family now. I'm like, man, look,
So when you got the role for Fat Albert, I think you played what, Bucky?
Bucky. I was originally casted as Dumb Donald, and so so there was they went through a whole process, man. That was a thing. They had it was the first Fat Albert, which was casted. It was Omar Benson who was playing Fat Albert from played Cornbread in Sinners, being kind of one another, and so he was playing Fat Albert, and we had Kel Mitchell was in there, and we had Lamar Tate was there, and just a whole bunch of us, man. Aaron Frazier, you know, and Nico Parham. I mean, we had, it was just a really great cast, and but at the time they were having a little friction. Forrest Whitaker was directing, and they had some friction, I guess some creative differences or whatever, and then they kind of went under the table, you know. So they came back, and Joel Zwick jumped on board. And
so Forrest wasn't directing no more.
Yeah. He you know, he came to us and he was just like, you know, it's being shelved right now. It's kind of one of those things where, you know, he can't call it. It was indefinite. So we were like, all right, yeah, okay. So in the meantime, I went back. I was like, well, let me finish college real quick. So I finished up my last semester and ended up graduating. And then, you know, and then it came back like a year later or so. And like I said, Joel jumped on board and he was like, you know, Alfonso, I really like you, but I can't see your face being covered as Dumb Donald, because Dumb Donald had the beanie, you know, with the eyes out.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I can't see you as that character. We got to see your face. Your face is great. You got a great face. And I was like, okay. And he was like, what about Bucky? And I said, okay, let's go. So that's how that started.
How many times did you have to audition for that role?
Ooh, it was. I mean, between the first and the second time, because it was. I mean, it was a process. You know, they did a. I would say the second time, which was the film that everyone saw, but the second time, oh man, it was multiple times. I can't even think of exactly how many, but we did mix and match sessions. It was things of where they wanted to make sure the energy was right. They brought on Kenan. You know, they were like, okay, we got to see if these guys fit each other and, you know, how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like just the energy, the chemistry. So it ended up working. We was like, all right.
So what was the time period from like you're talking to Forrest Whitaker to you actually filmed this all different movie?
It was like I said, probably like a year and some change, maybe. Like probably a year and a few months or so. And it was kind of a quick process, because in between that's when I really was doing more commercials.
Okay.
You know, doing a lot more commercials, and then so coming back to it, it was like, okay, we're doing Fat Albert, and it's like, all right, cool, you know. So it was a pretty quick process, though. Like I said, a year and a few months or so.
It might not appear so, but AD's the biggest Bill Cosby fan.
I love Bill.
Yeah.
Was he on set?
He came to set during his scenes, and then there was one or two times he came to set when we were actually shooting. It was wild, man, because when we first met him, I didn't think he was that tall. I didn't know he was that tall. It was like oh, they said say hello to your maker. He was 6'2", 6'3", something. I mean, something like that. Yeah, but what you about
6'4"?
Yeah. So y'all made right there.
I didn't know Bill was tall.
Bill's tall. Yeah. So they was like, say hello to your maker, and I was like, we all looked over like, oh, and then you know he kind of walked over him and Camille, and he was like, okay, I didn't know. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy. I don't know what Dr. Huxtable, Dr. Cosby, Bill, I don't even know. So. It was, but it was surreal meeting Bill, you know.
Absolutely. So did he still own the brand, or because you know, I know he started Fat Albert and created Fat Albert, but he might not own, you know, the intellectual property that's associated.
See, I don't know the inner workings of like his ownership of it, but I was under the impression that he still had control over it, because he was for sure like in the, you know, major decisions of what it was. You know, he wanted Kenan after, you know, the whole situation went down with the first, and I think that was just more of a directorial thing, you know, of who, you know, sometimes directors want to feel like they have their input in their cast. So I feel like that was more of an influence to kind of change out the cast, which myself and Aaron Frazier were the only ones that stuck from the original cast.
Damn.
Yeah, it was wild, man. And so you know, we just got on board and okay, cool. But I think that, you know, with all of that, Cosby definitely had a hand in it, though. Yeah, for sure. So.
And how was it working with Kenan Thompson?
Oh man, hilarious, bruh. Like, Kenan is so funny, man. He's that dude. I mean, we would just literally make each other laugh every day, just all day doing the stupidest. Like, we just comedy, bruh. I mean, he's a really, really funny dude, and it's almost like it gets to the point where it almost seems like he's gonna break character. He still does it on SNL and all of that, where it's like he'll kind of do a thing where you're like, you know, and it's like, you know, you almost think he's about to break character, but he stays in the pocket, you know. So we had a lot of fun, man. It was just great time.
Now you starred in one of my favorite movies growing up, Glory Road.
Oh, Glory, Glory Road, yeah.
Man, that movie, like, you know, it's a good basketball movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was basketball joint.
Right.
Texas Western.
Did you play before getting casted?
Yeah. So I played a little bit high school, a little in junior high as well. But yeah, man, we that process was the same thing. They wanted that was actually a process of where they wanted to see if we can actually play. So they had like a couple ex-NBA players out there, and we had to do, you know, quick little drills and little 3-on-3s or 5-on-5, you know, whatever it was. And we had to go against. They had to see if we can actually move, because they wanted to at least keep some authenticity to, you know, to the characters. You know, you can't just be out there and just can't hoop. They're gonna be like, man, all right, we bring in the stunt double, have them shoot from there, you know. So yeah, so they wanted to see if we can actually play. Had some type of athleticism. And
did you do all your roles?
Yeah, what do you mean?
As far on the court, as far as playing.
Yeah.
That's all you right there.
Yeah. So there was, I mean, and eventually they would, you know, if there was like B-roll, they needed to, man, bring the other dude and have him run this way, that way. But no, I mean, for the most part, it was like they had us doing it. It was like, yeah, do it, you know.
Was it shot on film or digital?
Film.
Was there any extra pressure to hit your shots?
Oh yeah. There was always extra pressure, because it was, okay, we rolling. It was like, all right, you got to hit, you know. So there was a couple times I was being, they would cut. I was, okay, let me get, can I get another, okay. You got to hit. Well, you know,
it's funny because I tried to audition for the Aaron Hernandez FX thing, because I knew
you need some muscles for that?
Hey man, they said they were gonna train you.
You gotta have a little.
Yeah, I know I have a little muscle.
A little neck.
But they mentioned like, hey, there's a whole like, you know, training process, like a 3 or 4 months. I don't think it would have done anything for me, but I did record myself running routes.
Okay. Did you play football or?
I was trash. I'm from Puerto Rico, so you can imagine.
They don't play football in Puerto Rico.
We play football. The grass was, it wasn't the best grass or the best specimens in the field.
But you could run routes.
I wasn't that great.
Okay. All right. I was just trash.
And then it looks like after that you did Pride.
Yeah, that was Pride. Pride with
Hey man, your Terrence Howard impression is crazy.
Oh man. People don't know, man. It's so funny because, like, I had been doing Terrence Howard's impersonation, man, from like day one. It was crazy because he stepped on the scene and he was so emphatic with everything, and I had never met a dude like that. You know, we actually, so for that film, man, we had to do all this swim training. You know, we would swim 25 meter, you know, back and forth little repetition swims. Who couldn't swim?
I know you didn't mention it.
There was the villain, Gary Sturgis. I think Sturgis is his last name. Yeah, Gary. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. There was a little struggle. He wasn't even supposed to swim. He wasn't. He was the antagonist, if you will. You know.
Right.
And so there was a scene where he got pulled into the pool or got pushed or something like that, and you know they was like cut, because he was
saved his life.
They was get in there right now. Wait a minute, what's going on? So they had to So it was because people don't realize, man. Like we had to do one drill where we had to swim with clothes on, and people don't realize when you swim with clothes on, it's like your clothes turn into straight. Weights.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
absolutely.
We had to get in there with jeans and in a shirt, whatever, and it just like boom. I mean, it pulls you down. You gotta really tread water and stay afloat, because man, clothes will definitely pull you down. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So he was in there fully clothed. And then also it's you know, a period piece, so it was like he had the, you know, the big butterfly collar on and the bell bottoms, so all that's already heavy, you know. So it was like boom, pulled him, you know. So it's crazy.
Yeah, you were saying about Terrence?
Oh, Terrence. Yeah, man. I mean, he just, like I said, you know, he's one of those dudes, very interesting. He stepped on the scene, and while we were doing all these repetition, you know, swim drills and whatever, the coach at the time, you know, she was from, I want to say she coached at Tulane or something like that university, and she was a swim coach. And so Terrence, I remember him just walking up while we were doing the drills, and we took a quick break, and they were like, "Oh, Terrence is here." So everybody was like, "Oh man, it's Terrence Howard. Oh man, you know, it's like, dang, like, you know, he hustle and flow. I mean, this is like the guy, you know." And he just walked up and he said, Listen. She's not your coach anymore. I'm your coach now. You listen to me. Yo, that was just like, and that was it. We was like, okay. And that was that. You know, it was just like, so every day was something new, you know? And so
that's cool.
I mean, hey, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did he give you any helpful hints about acting, about just any of that stuff?
He had some of the wildest, you know, looked at me. He would look at you know, me and the rest of the cast. Listen, steal this movie from me. Steal it. Don't let me take your shine. And we'd be like, oh, okay. So he was always like just giving these wild out advisory things, and we were like, oh, okay, all right, that's what's up, you know. And so but I don't know, he was great, man. I mean, it wasn't anything too deep. It was just more so he wanted to see us shine. He wanted to see us do well. So I was like, all right, you know, let's go.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was great.
I seen one clip, and you were kind of referring to the fact that he was able to cry at the drop of a dime.
Oh yeah. He I mean, that was impressive because, you know, there'd be scenes where it called for a dramatic turn, you know, but we out, everybody playing, joking around, whatever, and they'd be like, and action. Listen, we've been chasing dreams now for years, and he just start crying one tear. You like, what the hell? So it was crazy, man. He just on and off. It just like a switch. Damn, it's crazy. Just literally, is action. He just boom.
And start crying.
New dude, yeah.
And cut. Crying. Hey, can you bring me a Diet Coke?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, sometimes you gotta be, you know, it's you action, you get in it, you get out of it, you know. That was like sometimes, you know, because that was a period piece as well, you know, where we had racist folks, you know, had to play racist. So, and that was interesting because on action, it was, get out of here, man, you know, and then cut. Alfonso, hey, dude, come on, dude, okay, you know I'm just acting, bro. It's action, go get back to Africa now, you monkey. I'm like, yeah, dog, on action, you're not even on the script. On action, like, damn, you're not even acting. This is crazy.
But that gotta be crazy to be on that set and seeing white people throw the N-word around is wild. Man, I mean, yeah, there was so on Glory Road, there was one dude, I don't think he was acting because they was like, cut, sir, we said cut. He was still going, no, you never. And so my boy Makai Brooks, Makai was like, oh, where he grabbed him out the stands, and Makai had him. They was like, Makai, come here. He's about to kill that man. I was like, bro, this is, and you know, Makai, he big, so he was any one punch, pop, he out. So, and you also had the late great Bernie Mac.
Oh man, Bernie,
how was that? Because he's just hysterical to me.
You know, I was intimidated. I was, because I got on set, and when I was there, I you know, they had me there with our ensemble cast, and you know, we were doing this was probably day 2, and I had this scene where my character was supposed to walk up to the girl who joins the team, and I'm kind of low key flirting with her. Mm-hmm. Man, and I'm nervous because I'm like, man, Bernie walked in, so everybody like, man, it's Bernie. I'm like, God. One of the kings. Right. One of the kings?
Absolutely.
You know? So I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm like, bruh, all right. So I'm starting to do the scene. I'm rehearsing. I'm just like, you know, so they was like, all right, cut on rehearsal. And then, Alfonso, you good? I was like, no, I'm good. You know, but I could see Bernie just right in the corner, just staring. He just,
right.
You know, so I'm like, all right, you know. And so Bernie, you know, we did the rehearsal again, cut on rehearsal. Bernie said, hey, come here. I was like, hey, how you doing, Mr. Mac? He said, listen, man, I don't care what's going on, okay? They hired you for a reason. Don't worry about I'm over here. Don't think about why I'm here, okay? I'm here. I'm on the side. I'm watching you. You do your thing. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then that was like the blessing.
Right.
So then it was like after that, just like, just
you start killing it.
Yeah, man. So, and then it was like from there, you know, Bernie just nothing but praise, man. He was just like, boy, you so funny. He said, one thing I like about it is that you don't care who's watching. It's like you just do your thing. You're not thinking about, oh, do I look cool or do I look that? You're just funny. You just exude that. And I was like, damn, this is the blessing, bro. This is crazy. And so, yeah, it was like once I had that Bernie stamp,
that was it.
Yeah, I'm like, let's go, you know?
Any great stories that you might be able to share about Bernie being on set?
Man, there was one thing that was so dope. There was a scene where Terrence looks at Bernie at his character and he says to him, he's like, Elston, you know, and he says, oh man, I'm trying to paraphrase it, but he basically says, do you want to join us for a quick dip or something? And then Bernie, literally every take he had something new. It was like he gave him like 4 hot takes. I mean, he Elston, you want to join it? No, I want to get in there because I might embarrass somebody. You know, and he kept having a new take, just each one line, just bam, bam, bam. And I'm sitting there like, yo, and then afterwards I was like, Bern, like, yo, that's crazy. He said, listen, don't ever give him the same thing. Give him something different. Hit him with something new. He said, that's how you stay sharp. And I was like, yo. And it was just dope because like every scene that he would do, every line, like he would just be in there. He just hit him with something new every time, man. Like just top of the dome. And it just got me to where it was like another stamp of approval. Like, you know, just stay on your P's and Q's, you know, like, because that's where you get the best organic reaction or, you know, say line read, you know, you kind of just say something off the top of your head. And that's, for me, has been the thing, you know, it's like I've been able to improv in pretty much every project that I've been in and the producers end up keeping it and be like, yo, let's keep that. That's hilarious. And I'm like, all right, let's go, you know? So it was something that picking up from Bernie was like, yeah.
So even from Fat Albert, there's some lines there that you improvised.
Yeah. And at one point, man, I thought I was doing I was like, man, I don't want to step over like anybody's, you know, step over bounds or whatever. But once they would stamp that, you know, they would say, no, keep going. And I was like, okay, you know. And so this thing came even in Fat Albert. I would do this thing with the hand and like that was just a moment of improv. I did it one time and he was like, do that hand thing again. I was like, okay. And it, you know, and it was like, do it again, do it right here. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it again, you know, whatever. And then it ended up, they animated it in the film. Like he actually does the hand thing. Bucky does a hand thing, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. It started off with this moment of just improvising with Marcus Houston, and we just went and did it. And it was like, all right, you know. So yeah.
Where's my WGA card?
Man, but that's, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just something that just, yeah.
So was Bernie ad-libbing?
Yeah,
Did he
man.
ad-lib the whole movie? Or
Not the whole movie.
Or once he got what they wanted, then they would be like, all right, freestyle.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
it would be like, you know, one of those things of where they would want their take, you know, give us one scripted, and then, you know, but for the most part, like, he would get the skeleton of whatever the message was.
Right.
But then he hit him with some improv. And what are you going to do with improv? If it's funny, it's funny.
Right.
You like, bruh, that's hilarious. Like, I don't even know. I can't, like, come on now. I can't write nothing like that.
Chris Tucker, Rush Hour was mostly improv.
Man,
well, I mean, you could tell.
I mean, when you watch Money Talks, the Money Talks is one of the funniest joints, man. Like, he has so much improv in there. Like, the part where he walking by the security guard, he was like, hey, man, let me borrow your gun. I'm like, bro, what? Like, come on, man. You get the best out of that organic, you know.
Right.
And there's dramatic actors that improvise dramatically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not just comedy. It's like you'll have people that do. I mean, you know Denzel. He was how he came up with King Kong. King Kong ain't got shit. You know, that was
improv. Yeah. I've heard like a lot of the lines in the movies were improv too.
Yeah, they was just rolling, and he just hey, okay, and all right, huh? Okay, and he just hit him with
my man. I think my man. I'm not sure.
Huh?
I heard you have a quick. Can you do the Denzel impression real quick?
Yeah, we heard you had a great Denzel,
but not Gladiator too. Denzel.
No, not Gladiator. I like the one I've been stuck on lately is I still like the flight one. We say, hey, I'm drunk right now. God help me, huh? Hey. So yeah, I mean Denzel, bro. I mean he's just.
So how'd you get into that though? Like, just
what
becoming different characters and doing other people. And
I think I don't know, man. I've watched so many different, growing up, man, just different characters and different people. I mean, I would just study people, like I got a lot of characters from church, because I mean, it was like we was in church Monday through Friday, basically, and of course Sunday all day, but we was throughout the week, whatever. But like, so a lot of my characters come out of just real places, like real people, like I went to Bible study with a dude. There was Earl, of course, but we had another dude who was a thug. His name was Eric. And that's where, I got the gangster dude from, because he really was in church banging. And, we would go out witnessing. You know what I'm saying? So he would really bang. He'd be like, hey, what Revelation 3:22 say, huh? Come on, homie. And it was like,
that's so funny.
And that's how it was. He had the little curl in the back, you know what I mean? And Eric, hopefully he's still, out there doing his thing. But, it was just characters would just come about because just studying people around me, just be like, oh, that's that, I love that, or oh, that's really funny to me, or whatever, and then just start coming up with characters, and then impersonations kind of came with it, Right. People like, hey, impersonate this. I was like, all right, so yeah.
So the line, that's a bitch from the news. Was that improvised or was that on the script?
That was so the dude, yeah, Stephen Brill, he directed that film. He wrote that line. But like, as far as that film was wild, man. There was an executive who went up to the director and he said, well, listen, he said, if we don't know what to do in the scene, just put the camera on Alfonso and just let him riff. I was like, okay. And so that film, like, I would say for my stuff, it was 90% was improv, It was, yeah, man.
90%.
Yeah, like it was like, yeah, for that film. I mean, I didn't do a lot. I mean, I was in the film for all of 3 or 4 scenes, but
right.
But it was all what I was doing was improvised, and they loved it. They were like, yo, this is hilarious, like keep it, let's go. And I'm like, okay, so it worked.
I remember they used to talk about young Eddie Murphy, and that was his whole thing. He just show up and they be like, okay, what is it? And then he just start doing his thing.
Yeah. And it's sometimes it gets exhausting because it's like you start to go like, man, I gotta have a one up now. I gotta have something even funnier.
Right.
And that's the challenge because you start thinking like, all right, well, I improv'd over here. Now I gotta say something that's even funnier than that or whatever. And so you kind of get a little bit of a like, okay, all right, a little pressure to it, but
right.
But you kind of weave through it and just figure out something that comes it naturally, whatever, So it just depends on what it is, So
how was that acting with Elizabeth Banks?
Oh, she was great. She definitely was an ally with certain things. Say again with improv, she looked at the director one time and was like, "Can you just let Alfonso just do his thing? Just let him do his thing. He's gonna do what he do. So just let him." And he was like, "Okay, all right," because he was directing, and it was almost like he was giving too much direction, if you will. And she was like, "Just let him go. Just let him do his thing." And then it was like, "All right," and then. Boom. So she was great. I mean, she would always look at me and be like, okay, Fonz, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do okay, all right. Action. And then I would just get right into character and then, So now people say every now and again, they'll be like, hey, Pokey, is that Pokey?
So what was the transition like? You started then transitioning to TV from film.
Yeah, TV, doing TV, and I was at the same time doing
Similar,
TV film. Yeah, it was fun. TV is great. There wasn't a lot of say character work in TV like that. Like there was a show called Breaking In. Shout out to Adam Goldberg and Doug Robinson over there. We were doing this show for Fox, and so at the time, Adam was he would say, oh man, let's get some character for Alphonso to play, and so he would kind of let me kind of just spread my wings, if you will, and find different characters and do cosplay and whatever. So it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. But I just TV is what it is, and sometimes you have TV that's like very word perfect, so you can't really, there's no room to.
Was the metal word perfect?
Yeah, they were word perfect. They was like, nah. So what I would do is I would improvise during the rehearsals. And they was like, yo, that's hilarious. Like, they were like, yo, let's keep that. And then Alphonso, the thing that you did in rehearsal, can you do that on camera? Okay, great. And I'll be like, okay, cool. So it worked. But you can't do it like while you shooting, though. If you shooting and you improvise, they like... right. So you gotta throw it in rehearsal to kind of test the waters.
You kind of know which production you're in.
Yeah. So you throw it in during rehearsal. You get the crew is laughing. You're like, and they start laughing. Everybody starts laughing. We like that. Boom, there you go.
And you did that show for like 5 years.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be a 1 episode thing. It was they called me and was like, hey, can you do an episode? And they was like, possibly 2, but and then it turned into a 5-year run for me. I was like, oh, okay,
That's cool.
Straight.
Yeah.
Straight.
No, that's big time right there.
Yeah.
So then you started doing Vines, and a little later down the road.
Vine was kind of in between the time of like, I was just about to finish up Love That Girl, which was a show with Bentley Kyle Evans and
Tatiana Ali.
Yes, Tatiana Ali. Martin Lawrence was producing, and it was great. That was the closest I had gotten to like a Martin type show. Where, I mean, you talk about they'd be like, man, just let Fonzo go. Just let him do his thing. And so that was wild. I mean, Bentley, that's my dude, man. He would just let me rock out. And so they would have lines, but they'd be like, give me something.
Right.
Did
he got you in his new TV show coming up, Varnell Hill?
No, they shot it. They shot it already. So I don't know.
Oh, they shot the whole.
I believe so.
Oh,
there's gonna be a season 2.
I believe so. Yeah, maybe season 2. We'll see. Varnell, man, that character's funny, man. That character is hilarious, bro. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe season 2 because I heard it went well. So it's good. But yeah, man, it's like the improv though. Like that's one thing that Bentley would just let me just rock out with. He go, man, let him do his thing, man.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, he was used to it. He had the greats. He had Martin, after that Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
So he knew what he had on his hands.
Yeah.
And he won't let you do that if he doesn't trust you.
Right.
You got to get trusted, and that was one thing I had to gain that trust, and that was through just even the audition process. Going in, it was the first read was actually Stacey Evans Morgan, which is his sister. She saw me at a stand-up comedy showcase, which was David Arnold's showcase. Rest in peace, David Arnold. And excuse me. And so he had me do a set during the showcase, and she saw me there. It was like, hey, I got a show. My brother's doing a show. You should, look out for it. It's coming in, blah, 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 whatever. I was like, all right, but everybody says they have a show. I didn't really take too much on it. Right. And then later on, got a call, and he was like, hey, there's a show. It's called Love That Girl. And I was like, and they was like, and my agent was like, yeah, it's not, my agent was really, at the time, was like, nah, I don't think you should do it. There's not a lot of money. And, and I said, well, who's doing it? Who's behind it? And a producer named Stacey Evans. And I was like, oh, Stacey, I met her. And I was like, okay, I'll read for it. So I went in and read for it, did the first read, and then went back where Bentley was in the room, and he had his whole team in the room. And so I'm reading, man, and like, I think, I can't remember exactly how it was, like the timeline of it, but I'm reading in the room, and I literally, I said, yo, you did a film called Rude Boy. And he was like, he was like, yo, how you know about Rude Boy? And I'm like, man, the Jamaican joint? I was like, that's like Shotas, you know? So I do a scene from Rude Boy. I literally just stopped doing the audition. I did a whole scene from Rude Boy, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, where it's like this part where he's like, man, kiss me shoes. Kiss me shoes. You know, so the dude hold the gun up to him. Kiss me shoes now, your blood clot. You know, so I do the whole scene, right? Bentley and them, they're dying laughing, right? So he had me come back again. Didn't even read the lines. He was like, hey, Fonzo, just do the scene from Rude Boy real quick. It's like, okay. So did the scene, and, you know, because he had all the rest of his people in there. Right. So I did the scene, and then that was it. And then got the call, and they were like, yeah, it's your show if you want it. And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
If they do a Cool Runnings remake, you definitely should be in that movie.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know.
You like Cool Runnings?
Thanks, Coach.
I don't know about Cool Runnings. That's the one where they doing the bobsled.
The bobsled.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
I don't know if they do a reboot of it, but you know,
it's a classic.
I don't know.
They might not do a reboot. I don't know, but
I don't know. Some things you gotta stay away from.
Right. You be like, ah.
Was there ever a movie or a commercial that you got and you was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it, and then it turned out to be something great for someone else?
There was, I'm trying to think. There was a movie that I got offered. It was called I want to say The Blind Guy, I think it was. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do it, or, you know, and then I was kind of on the fence.
Right.
But then my agent was just like, oh, you know, maybe we should skip it and blah, blah, blah. And so it kind of got a little muddled. And I think it was just in between all of the dealing, we just ended up not doing it. And they offered it to another dude, which it was Chris Pine and Pooch Hall. And so Pooch ended up doing it. It was great for him, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, you know, that was a I thought it was a fun role. I think it was just a lot of logistics that at the time I was like, I don't know. And then, you know, and like I said, my agent at the time was kind of like, you know, and also it was just like, it was a lot. I think at the time, there were a lot of roles where, like, I had a lot of church pressure, like people from the church. You doing the devil's work? You out there cussing? I seen you drinking, and you know. And so I think there was some pressure from the church as well, where it was just like, maybe I should just stay away because I don't want to take no congregation smoke, you know, which is kind of wild because it's like you grow up in church and you have this pressure of like being, you know, you can't do the devil's work now, and so there becomes a pressure a bit. I mean, like, church kids.
It's really acting though.
I know.
Like, why are we taking it so serious?
I know. I think at the time I was pressured in, like, I don't know. I mean, now I'm like, whatever. But I think at the time it was just like, I mean, you know, the Lord, he ain't gonna like that, you know, and they press you. See, baby, you doing all that jesting. That's the Bible saying Corinthians. You like what? So it's crazy.
No, yeah, same thing with, not to mention Chris Tucker again, but that's why he didn't do Friday too.
Right.
Because he didn't want to be seen smoking and all that stuff.
Smoking and yeah.
Was he in the church back then?
Yeah, he was heavy church. There was
I met him a couple times, and now I for sure know he was. But when he did Friday, he was heavy in the church.
I don't think Friday.
Yeah,
I think it was Friday. It was next Friday.
Friday.
Okay. By the time next Friday came along, I think he was
that's
now
when he had already crossed over.
Made that transition to the church. Yeah.
Listen. Yeah.
So the church knows how to pressure a lot of people, and you be like,
the church over there ruining careers.
No, yeah, because we interviewed like a while back Devon Franklin, and he's like, you know, like, he's not like a preacher, but he talks to open, you know, faith-based.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it either, even though all his message is positive, because it's like you're drawing attention upon yourself.
Right. And the church there's a heavy judgment, man, that the church could give you where you just kind of feel like, man, what can I do? You know, and almost feel like you get almost kind of brainwashed into a thing of where, man, these people really gonna put me in hell, you know? And no, because that's, I mean, for real, you grow up in church and you doing what? See, the devil said, you know, and you be like, all right. You know.
But your parents didn't give you that, did they?
A little bit. You know, my mother and father ministers, so there was a little of that. So it was hard. You know, it's like saying like cursing around my parents or whatever. Like you couldn't do any of that. I mean, that was just uncalled for.
I mean cursing around your parents is, and especially in a black family, that's poor taste.
Yeah, poor taste. Anyway,
but I'm saying
like, but I'm saying like even on stage, like if I'm on stage and like you know I'm like I'm performing, you know, and it might be a little slip or whatever, but it's like if my parents in the room, I'm like I can't slip at all, you know, because they might be like, what you? I don't raise you that way, you know. So
they might have to come.
Yeah,
sit this one out. I'm trying to get this money.
Right. So you know, again, it's the church a lot of times can put that pressure on you, and you kind of go like, all right.
So from the first time that you did stand up, that you had like a standing ovation, did you just keep going to the stage every year,
Yeah, going back to the church, I actually stopped doing stand up for a while because you know I got pretty much judged a lot because I was doing.
Damn.
I started doing clubs. And, you know, and some of the church folks, you know, kind of heard about it and they just would, oh, my Lord, you out there doing that. So I stopped for a little while just because of that pressure. I was like, yeah, man, like, and that's the thing. I mean, I grew up in the church. So it's like, so a lot of it was like a lot of the church mothers knew me, a lot of the usher board, deacons. Right. I mean, I knew everybody in the church. I mean, you name someone, oh, yeah, Brother Al, okay. You know, so that's how it was. It was like I knew everybody and everybody knew me. And it was like, so the pressure of that was tough. So I stopped doing stand-up for a while just because of that pressure. And once I got into a place where it was like, you know what, if I'm doing a club, if I'm doing a church organization or whatever, it's going to be the same. You know, it's as far as like, I just have to be me, you know, it's got to be, I got to be the, you know, the energy that God gave me. It's like, I got to have that, you know, it's like, I can't be like, oh, well, I got to, you know, dim my light because they over. It's like, nah, you just got to do you know, because it's like, at the end of the day, you know, you start making that bread like that. That's what it was. It was like they start to see I'm making bread, so they switched you gonna give to the Lord? You know, that building fund. You know, that building fund is coming up. You know, you like, oh, okay, you know.
So that
we need that money. Pass that plate again.
The movie Sinners. Do you think that hit home for you? Did you?
There was a lot in Sinners. Sinners was super layered. Super layered.
Okay.
Super layered.
No, this is the thing. No, this is the thing.
Y'all don't think it was layered?
I like the movie. I think it's a good movie. It's a very solid movie. It's a very solid movie.
You need to stop lying.
He don't like it.
No, he didn't understand.
No, listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
I just thought I was going in there watching a scary movie.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay. It wasn't that frightening for me.
Right.
It wasn't that frightening for me. I was like,
more suspenseful thriller.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. But then when I came out and they was like, nah, it was all this political stuff going on within the movie and all this stuff. You mean to tell me, honestly, did you know that before you went in there or you caught it as you watched it?
Oh, I caught it while I was watching. I mean, of course, because you can't get a lot from a trailer. You know, the trailer was, you know, it had great visuals and then a little bit of the story, but you didn't really catch all of that.
I would love to hear the first part that you caught. Because let me tell you something. This is from a person who caught nothing.
Really?
I caught zero.
Okay.
What were they, Koreans or Chinese? He didn't.
You're saying the store? I
think they were Chinese.
Yeah,
that would make more sense for LA though.
There's been saying, and we'll go back to your interpretation.
Yeah.
That I would just call them the Asians represent.
To be safe. To be
safe, because I forgot. It's been a long time since I watched the movie.
Right.
Yeah, but it's similar to LA where they own the convenience stores, and then we go buy from them. Right.
He did research, but he did research from the Asians in the South, though. You know, so while I'm watching, there was a lot of stuff.
You caught it.
Yeah, because I catch a lot of film. When I'm watching film, I kind of, I don't just sit back just as an audience member. You know, I try to dissect what I can while I'm watching because most storytellers, they're telling a story visually, but also, you know, just interpretively, like they're you know, by dialogue or whatever. So a lot of it can be, it can be some type of, you know, say analogous interpretation. It could be, you know, whatever. I mean, this is how film works. I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of break it down like, oh, I see what's going on here. This is symbolism for this, or this could mean that, or whatever. So I don't just take it as face value.
Damn.
You know,
I take it as
like
movie.
And before I'm attacked, like the problem I have with the movies is just the vampire lore.
Okay.
Like, I love the characters and I didn't want them to die.
Okay.
But the vampire lore, I'm a fan of vampires. I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I feel like for Sinners, what he was trying to do, he needed the vampires because that was the symbolism of like, say, culture vultures, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the people that... say slurp the culture, but then it's because that's what one of his main lines is. I want your stories. I want your I want your songs. I want your stories. It's like, oof, that was heavy. You know what I mean? Because
afterwards, I caught it.
Okay.
Afterwards, when people was like, I was like, oh,
anyway,
okay.
He called me the day of after the movie. He's like, I fucking hated that shit.
I didn't like it. I didn't know what everybody was going crazy over.
Yeah.
And I was just completely confused because when I go to the movies, unfortunately,
right,
I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention. I'm just watching, like you said, everything at face value. Mm-hmm. That's just how I watch the movie. But I understand you're an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're an actor. This is your thing. You going in there and was like, oh, I know why they opened that door because that means this, and I was like, okay. When I went back and everybody kept trying to explain it to me because everybody black was upset that I didn't like the movie. They was like, you should have liked that movie. This is about L.A., South Central, and all this. And I get what they were saying. And I was just like, I just didn't know I was watching that kind of movie.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's entitled to whatever. It's like, and you shouldn't have the pressure of like, I gotta like it because I'm black. It shouldn't be that. We shouldn't have a thing of where.
Unfortunately, it is that.
But we
us.
have to. I know. It's like we have to be like, well, I like. Go
support it.
Right. And
but
so
I'm glad he made all that money.
Yeah,
like that's a super positive thing.
Yeah, it was a solid film. I thought his interpretation of many things in there. I was like, that was dope. And so you pull out what you can from the film, and you go, okay, I see what he was doing there, So I thought it was good, It's like, but I mean, that just wasn't off of just the people of people saying, because I like to stay off of social media and all of that. I don't want to get anybody else's interpretation unless I'm fully stuck where I'm like, I don't even know. Right. Like, I'll tell you a stuck moment in Weapons. Did y'all see Weapons?
I saw Weapons. Mm-hmm.
So in Weapons, there's that part where the dude, Archer, I believe it is, Josh Brolin. Yeah. He runs out the house, and it's in a dream sequence. Yeah. And when he runs out the house, he's looking for his son. He's like, Matthew. And he's running, and he runs through the woods. And then he comes back out of the woods. He looks at his house, and there's an AR rifle floating on top of the house. Yeah. Remember, it's like a big, almost like
I wasn't a big fan of that.
It was like a AR rifle, and it says 217, the time that the children ran out from the house. And I was stuck for a minute. I was like, damn, because I'm like, I get it. They weaponize the children. I don't want to give you the whole story.
He's not going to watch it.
But, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, you should watch it. It's a solid film,
too. It's a good movie.
But it's good. So, but it was like, I was kind of stuck because I was like, I'm not really sure, like, the weapon above his house. Is he saying that, he was the one to weaponize his son? Was he the one, the influence of... this notion of gun violence, school shootings, and what was he the one to because you have in school shootings where the parents are now being tried because and convicted because they have this power to pretty much transform their child into what we might see, it become a school shooter, So
they're going after the parents now?
Yeah, there was the one. You remember the one kid that I think it was Florida? He shot up the school and they convicted the parents too because it was like, you bought him the gun, kid, and you did such and such, and so you were the one. So it's like you kind of go.
So you think it was that's a political message about school shootings?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was stuck because I was like, I don't know if that's a political message. I don't know.
To me, story-wise, it didn't make much sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. The weapon, and the it's just that the AR rifle was like kind of out of place.
Yeah.
but then also Archer was like a military dude. So you kind of go, okay, is this denoting to like the parents and what they're teaching their children? You know, like, the shooter just recently, they said that his father bought him a gun kit at 9, you know, and for Christmas. And,
are we talking about the Charlie Kirk guy?
Yeah. Okay. And at 9, I was getting, video games or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't know if he was saying like had a political, thing to it or whatever. And so like online, people were giving their interpretation. So that was one where I was just stuck. I was like, I'm not really sure. And sometimes directors do that. They leave it open for interpretation. And sometimes you get stuck like, I don't know what they was trying to say. And sometimes they leave it out there for the audience to interpret. They go, what do you get out of it? And you go, right. Because that's what art is, right? You look at something, you be like, man, what do you see? I see a horse. And somebody else is like, nah, I see a wildebeest or I see a whatever. And then it's like,
Yeah. I don't want to drag you in this conversation if you don't want to, because apparently
what is it?
Some people are getting fired from talking about it. But do you have any thoughts on what happened
Charlie
to
Kirk?
I mean, if you don't want to talk,
I feel like overall they should put an asterisk by freedom of speech. Just put an asterisk.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They should just. Because I feel like with freedom of speech, I don't know if we're really free of consequence or free of cancellations or free of just all of that. So, I mean, I just think overall, there's just a lot of things that are just being ran over, and we're kind of like, so I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know, but
I personally believe it's a conspiracy. I don't believe it's a lone gunman theory. And I showed him a video about like there's a side angle and they're talking about like a iPhone gun, and then when he gets shot, like there's a guy next to him doing this with their iPhone.
Yeah, I have seen there. It's so crazy
out there. Yeah.
It's so crazy, man. It's like anytime anything happens, man, you got people that will break every millisecond to the angle, to the, if you look right here and see what he did with this and did with that. And it's like, I'm like, bruh, I don't even know. Sometimes you kind of go like, damn, I don't know what to believe. Cause it's like, it's so many theories. I mean, look, we still going over theories of the world trade. I mean, they still like, man, well, there was this happening and it's such and such. And it's like, so I'm sure this is going to be one of those that's going to be documented and talked about for years to come, where it's just like people going to have, oh man, it was this, it was that. Cause you kind of go like, well, damn, I don't know. I mean,
like, we don't know JFK still.
That's what I'm saying. JFK, they're still like, man, there was a second gunman on a grassy knoll. I saw him, and it's...
The magic bullet theory is crazy.
It's crazy.
Like, we really selling that to people? I was just sitting there, I was like, y'all gotta be fucking kidding me.
It's almost like the thing of where, it's kind of like in court, like a court session. You just have to get someone to just have doubt. And then it's like,
that ain't gonna do it for me. I've been like, man, if we don't stop.
Yeah, it's just because the internet can get you to a place where you like, oh yeah, okay, well there was that, and then now that's one thing about the internet, man. It's like there's gonna be somebody who agrees with you. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can say the wildest thing, and there's somebody like. Yeah, I believe that as well. And you're like, yo, it's always somebody. It's somebody out there. There's never going to be where somebody says the wildest thing and just nobody agrees with it. There's going to be somebody.
There's always somebody.
There's always somebody to agree with
it.
But
to me, even like Epstein, like he killed himself the day before he just said he's going to go to court and tell on everybody he died. Get the fuck out of here, man. Right. Yeah, I'll just be like, what we doing?
And the cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever know. It's kind of one of those things where you like,
I'll be like, come on, what we doing?
I wish, there was so funny. I remember a long time ago, like, people were asking me about like superpowers. They were like, what would be a superpower or whatever? And I was like, man, I wish I could like go back to events and just sit back and just see exactly how they unfolded. Like, let me see.
That would be dope as hell. That's the best.
You could just sit and be like, because I would for sure go back. I go to OJ. I would just let me just see what happened. I just want to see what happened. Oh, okay. That's how the blood glove got there? Oh, word. Oh, the drops of blood was from this. You know, you can go back. Dope. You know what I'm saying? You can just see literally how it all went down. You're like, okay, all right. Like
OJ's innocent.
If you just,
for me too. OJ didn't do it.
Look, I don't know.
Hey, listen, OJ didn't do it.
They set him up. They set him up.
I mean, bruh,
you were in LA, right?
The book where he said, "If I did do it,"
everybody
like, damn.
Everybody think I did it anyway.
He had a crazy breakdown though. If he did do it, I was like, did that sound like you did it? I was like, oh my god.
If they killed, the mother of your children, you're not gonna be the same person.
I don't know. He wasn't really that fond of her at the moment.
Yeah. But you were in LA when that happened?
I was a kid, yeah. Well, out here. Yeah, I was out here.
Do you remember the chase?
Yeah. I mean, everybody was trying to get out there, man. It's like, 90s was hot. 90s was a hot time, but everybody's trying to get out to the 405. He out there. OJ, go, Juice. So it was just like the energy. I think the energy of the time. I mean, you got to think, we had so many different social norms at that time that was so different. You know what I mean? Where I feel like he had LA on his side because the riots had just happened. Mm-hmm. So it was like he had LA, he had Black America, he had everybody on his side. So it didn't matter what, you know what I'm saying? He ain't do it. He did what? He ain't do it.
I'll never forget that. My grandmother swore he didn't do it.
He ain't do it.
She had every video, every tape, everything.
Man.
She's like, nah, I didn't watch the video 20 times. He didn't do it.
He ain't do it. But it was a lot of evidence where you go like, God, I don't know. It's a stress.
It's a lot of it's good. Lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Blood was everywhere. I was like, how your blood get all in that? I don't know, but it is what it is. Anyways.
How'd you start? You went from doing movies, doing TV to creating a Vine account that had over 1 million followers.
Yeah, man.
Why Vine?
Vine was a thing where I think the challenge of it to make somebody laugh in 6 seconds was like, I was like, okay, that's a challenge. And I remember this theory this dude was telling me, he goes, social media has a 5-second attention span.
Right.
So you got to catch people in that first 5. That's why you have advertising, where they say skip ad in 5 seconds or 6 seconds, whatever. Because if you don't catch them in that time, they to the video or they're skipping, they're doing whatever. Right. So you got to catch people in that window. If you don't, they scrolling. You know how people scroll. He was just scrolling. He was just scrolling quick. Scroll. People scroll. If whatever it is, they watching this podcast. If we don't catch them in the 5, okay, I'm scrolling. Just thumb up. So that to me was a challenge. I was like, okay, to make somebody laugh that quick, that fast, to try to come up with a quick, just one hitter, whatever it is, was a challenge for me. So I saw a couple people on Twitter at the time, like they had Vines they put up. They was like, oh man, just ran out to grab a quick little sandwich, blah, 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 whatever. And that was it. It was something just real basic. And so I was like, okay, but then I saw Lil Duval. He had some Vines he had put up, man. And when I tell you they were so funny, I mean, this brother, he had some Vines, man. I was screaming. I was like, this dude is comedy, man. And I was like, you know what? This is really dope. Like, let me see what's up. And then I got a call from Paige Kennedy, and he came down to the set. Love that girl. And he brought down King Batch. So at the time, Batch had just got 1 million followers, or he was about to have 1 million. Everybody was like, damn, he like the king of Vine, So he came down. He was like, yo, we should do some Vines. And I was like, all right, it's cool. So then they pulled up to my house and we just started shooting Vines. So we shot probably like 4 or 5 that day.
Okay.
And I was like, and he had a rhythm already. He had a recipe, a rhythm. He was like, yeah, this is what I need. This. It was like, boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. We shot it. I was like, that's it? He was like, yeah, that's it. Okay. And so, and we were improvising, the Vines. Because he'd be like, all right, the Vine is, he'd be like, I don't know, you a homeless dude and this is going to happen or whatever. And they'll be like, all right, cool. And we would just improvise the lines. We know what to say at the time. And then it was like, all right, cool, boom. And then he posted the stuff. And then And it was like, okay, so I got some followers from that. And then Paige, I did some Vines with him that day as well. We posted, he posted them. And then I opened an account. I was like, all right, well, like I said, I got followers from Batch, got them from Paige, and it just went from there. And it just became a thing where it kind of bit me. I was like, okay, make people laugh in 6 seconds, let's go. And so each video, so then my videos would start to turn into this thing of where I started to play around with characters. Mm-hmm. And that's what people fell in love with, the characters. They was like, yo, the character you did, the bike cop joint, or the backward skater dude, or whatever, the negotiator joint. I'm like, all right, cool. So there were just like things that I would try that I kind of thought, well, I can't really try this in a TV show or a movie. Let me try it on Vine. And to, my surprise, those things would blow up. Right. And take off, and like, wow. And then people you should do it, man, write a movie about this, write a show about it or whatever. So I started writing stuff to it, That's dope. So yeah.
What happened to Vine?
Vine, man, they messed up. They didn't want to pay nobody. That's,
I know Twitter bought them, right?
Twitter had them, and
it looked like they bought them for like $30 million.
Yeah. But
then they shut it down soon afterwards.
Well, yeah, because again, they didn't want to pay anybody. So I had like 2.5 million on Vine, and but I mean, Batch and all those dudes, they had like 14, 15 million. They was up there, and so the top 50 creators on there, they didn't want to pay them, and so they was like, yo, you're not trying to pay? Well, we're not gonna post. So they was like, oh, well, okay, don't post. We'll still survive. They was like, okay, cool, we'll see. So they stopped posting, and everybody kind of flooded over to Instagram. And at the time, Musical.ly, which was ended up turning into TikTok. So
you TikTok?
Every now and again. I strayed away from it heavy. Somebody had my handle on there as well. They had McFons, and I was like, come on, man, how they got McFons? I was like, somebody out there trying to play me. So they had my handle for a while, and so I just got it. And I was like, all right. So I started posting on there.
I felt the same way, because I'm like, it's like, man, it's like this new thing. I hate it. And I knew people who were doing TikTok, and then they were blowing up. And I'm like, fuck those guys.
Yeah. No, with TikTok, I think the difference between it was just a thing of Vine. You just had to come up with stuff. You had to just be funny. You had to come up with your own concepts. You really couldn't do what you could do on TikTok, where you can use somebody's sound, or how they now categorize, oh, this is a trend. It's like, nah, you stealing somebody's content or whatever. And then, but they'll, oh, this is trend. This is a trendy thing, and we're doing a trend now. And it's like, okay, so, right. So I think with Vine, you, like I said, you just had to get creative. You had to be creative.
If they were to hit the button and light it back up and start paying people, it would do well?
I'm not sure. You got to think like, there are things in society that have like the window of time, and it's like you kind of got to hit that window. I feel like Vine comes back now. People have already experienced, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, how they've changed their algorithm. They've with Reels and all of that. I think with all of these different advances, people kind of go, I don't really know if I need Vine anymore. I'm not sure. Like I said, I just feel like sometimes you got to catch that window. If you're not in that window, you kind of lose the luster, and then people go, It's like how they're doing TV shows now, where it's like they give you that whole season, pow, and then the next season you see like 3 years later, people go, I forgot what happened in the first. What? How? And then they kind of go,
look so old.
Yeah, and then they and then your audience, the viewership drops off, because people, the luster of that window is kind of gone. I read that about Wednesday, the Netflix joint. They said like 40. It was a 40-something% drop off of the viewership, because you kind of go like, it was hot when it was hot, and you kind of,
The thing about it now, I feel, is, when let's say How I Met Your Mother, it was running for 3-4 months as you were watching the season. Now you get it all at once, so it burns even brighter, and everybody's hot. But then, okay, you saw it in a week, and then it's like after a month, you kind of forgot about it.
Right. That's the con of it. You know what I'm saying? The pros of it, you get it when you want it. You like, I can watch this thing at 3-4 in the morning if I want to, an episode here, whatever. But then you kind of go, that's it? Y'all got any more than episodes? You know what I'm saying? They like, well, you got to wait 2-3 years from now, you know. So, like you said, it gets old, and you go, yeah.
But the thing about TikTok is they do reward original content. Like, but the videos have to be a minute. So all those people following trends, those videos are 10, 20 seconds, so they're not going to make anything out of that. But the people who create original content that people stick in for a minute or more, you know?
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good incentive. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
TikTok has been nice to us.
TikTok, they paying people, especially live. You know,
Yeah,
I got friends
lives?
that be on live. I don't do the live thing like that, but I got friends that's on live. They get money from that. You get a little bag, get a little TikTok bag. You know,
right? And
if you get enough, if your numbers are right, you know, they give you a heavy bag. You know?
The one that I really haven't gotten into is like Twitch and like
Twitch.
all those, or Twitch or Kick or all those affiliates.
Yeah.
Can you do lives? Have you?
Twitch, yeah. I mean, I at one point I thought about it. I thought about doing Twitch because I mean, you know, here and there I'll play a video game here and there. You know, I'm still every now and again get into a video game. But Twitch, man, you can make bread. Oh, that's heavy bread. You know what T-Pain said? He made more money on Twitch than his whole career. I'm like, damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. He said that.
God damn.
Because people want to watch. Because people want to watch him play video games
and do all this stupid shit. You need to see.
He does other shit.
Have you seen the Rampage Jackson live streams? Not live streams, but highlights, I guess.
Yeah, highlights. Kai Sanat, you know, he's on there. I mean, now he's doing his marathon thing, but it's like, yeah, man, people just want to watch. It's become a Truman Show. People just watching.
Yeah,
they brushing their teeth. Let me see how they brush. It's like, what? I don't understand. I'm like, all right, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just want to watch.
You know that? Do you know the Rampage son situation? Roger Jackson.
I don't know all the detail, but yeah,
he beat up a guy in wrestling live because, and then the stream kind of shows that he got picked.
Right. I heard about yes.
He just got arrested.
He got arrested for what?
For beating up the wrestler live.
It's crazy.
Just now?
Just now.
Yeah,
it's been like damn near a month ago.
Yeah. Well, now they have enough information and they know it's him. And
then there you go.
And there you go.
Dang.
That sucks.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Arrest me when it happened, not a month later. Fuck that.
Right.
That's wild right there.
Oh man.
And talking about other LA news, since you resided around these areas, do you ever run into David the singer?
Oh, the dude with the Tesla thing that just happened with the girl?
Yeah.
No, I never really ran into him like that, but this thing is wild, man. They talking about they had,
we don't know yet what's happening.
Yeah, well, they talking about he had matching tattoos. I was like, not matching tattoos? Matching tattoos?
And she in the trunk?
She in the trunk? Underage?
Yeah, it's all bad.
It's all bad.
When I found out he was black, I was like,
But he one of those new. He one of those.
I was like,
now come on.
Not this one.
He an emo black though.
Oh.
Emo black, so you know.
Okay, so we give him a little. All right.
A little grace.
Yeah. But that's wild. That's a wild story, though.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't know what's about to happen.
Wild. Especially because I've listened to some of his songs and some of the titles, "Romantic Homicide."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When they were going over the title, I was like, "Fuck."
A couple songs released on her birthday, you know.
Oh, that's wild. It's unfolding a little too. I'm like, man,
this is. You know what it is? As being black, we always be like, please, not us. Right. We do it all the time. They be like, oh no, they arrested there. Oh, he killed everybody in the bank.
In the bank?
Like,
we try to put together clues.
The clues to find out was it really
right. Was it us? That's the first thing we think of.
Every single time. Because man, be like, please, not
listen. When the Charlie Kirk thing happened, it was like he was where? Utah? Oh, okay. So everybody's like putting clues in. He was in Utah. Okay, he was at And he was okay. And it's like, so we're putting clues together because the first thing we're thinking.
Right. But halfway during the conversation, right when they got to Utah, I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't us. Hey, how y'all doing? I was already over it. I was like, it's not us.
But you think that with every, I mean, that's just how it is.
I was hoping, please no black Latinos. Because I heard reports that before they even identified the shooter, like, some places were getting threats.
Yeah. I didn't understand there was HBCUs that was getting threats.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of like off top.
So
off top, because you go like, please don't let it be us. Please don't let it.
But the only thing is we not in the assassination game.
Right.
That's not us.
Right.
That's not us.
Right.
Yeah, you're not that subtle.
Right. If
our crimes are up close and personal. It's not from 150 yards away.
Right. It's like
that's just not us.
Yeah, it's like I gotta let you know that right now. So you'll see a lot of New York niggas walk up on you, son, take the mask off. It's like, oh, okay, that's it,
exactly.
Son. It's like, yeah.
Do you think we have streaming? We've had strikes. We had COVID. Is it like streaming is now catching everybody's attention? Will we ever go back to the form that we digested cinema and all that stuff, or where the Pandora's box has been opened?
It's hard because it's like when the genie's out the bottle, you can't put it back in. When the toothpaste is out the tube, you can't get that thing back in there because it's like that's it. So I feel like because of the advent of streaming and all of these different things, it's hard to go back. That's like saying let's go back to no cell phones. Right. It's like people gonna be like, "What? No, that would never happen." It's like, nah, like it's so. I feel like once you experience something, you kind of go like, "I need a little more of that." It's kind of like AI right now. Everybody is scared of AI. AI is here. You can't get that genie back in the bottle. It's here. That's it. And so I don't know. I'm not sure if we'll go back to. You're saying like just more of the traditional, like
like you used to sell DVDs and stuff like that. It's like
it's gonna be hard. Now I do feel like there are there's media that has more of like a everlasting duration. Like you look at vinyl records are still a hot commodity. People. DJs, a lot of people just look for the vinyl. They're like, oh, I got this, I got such and such album on vinyl. And you're like, okay. So they have a lot of vinyl stores that sell brand new waxes that they so I feel like there's media that is just never going to fade.
If it's great, it's gonna live on.
Yeah, I feel like if it's great, it's gonna live on. But there's other media, other tech that just gets taken over, and you kind of go like, I think until they invent something other than the phone, you know what I mean? Like the phone's always going to be. The phone is like, it's kind of like, unless we get to the point where we're using telepathy or something.
Well, I mean, they're like, the AI chips that they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to lead into.
It could get to that point where, it's just everything is a tap. Like, hey, what's going on? I'm saying? Fonz, what up? I don't know. We don't know. It could get to just a tap. I don't know. I mean, but I think right now, when you have these traditional things that are being faded out, I'm not really sure if people go back. The theater, I feel like the theater is going to have life. It just people have to come up now with being even more creative, more authentic. We have stories that are based on so many different just established IPs. Marvel films and all that stuff where it's like these are established things that they get publicity and they get love distribution because they're already established, but then you have original IP like say like Sinners or Weapons or whatever that I feel like people get excited about because they go, man, this is original. This is something new. It's not a superhero joint or it's not a remake or a reboot or whatever. So they get excited for stuff like that. So I feel like we just have to be become more authentic now and figure out ways to get the media out there in a more organic way. And I feel like people will still go to the theater, because the theater is an experience. Yeah. You're in the theater.
I'm a theater guy. Grab my popcorn, nachos.
Yeah. And it's like you get everybody's response. Like I watched Sinners in the theaters and it was like, it was dope because everybody was like, oh, everybody, oh. You know, so you hear a whole jump through the crowd, or you hear the gasp was like, oh, what? Or you hear people saying, so, girl, you better, you know, whatever. You might hear, no, that nigga crazy, you know, whatever. Like, you hear things or whatever, and it's like, and it's dope because you have that collective experience that you can't get at home. You at home, the kids is running, whatever. It's just phone ring. You got to pause the joint. Whatever. It's like you don't get the same experience. So I don't think the theater would leave, but you know, we'll see.
No, yeah, because I feel like the new trend right now is they're disguising original stories with horror, but they're not traditional horror.
Right.
Like, you know, Nope. You know, they're giving mid-level budgets to horror movies, and that's the trend that I feel like we're in right now.
Yeah,
because like Sinner's got a big budget, Weapons 40 million or something like that.
38, but close to 40, close to but Nope was great. A lot of people dismissed it, but I thought Nope was an amazing film. You know, I watched it. I watched it a few times. I was like, this is kind of dope.
Actually, I liked it more than Us. But to me, the most horrific scene is when the people are getting eaten alive.
Oh yeah.
Eating
And
slowly to me is like one of the worst shit
it was
ever.
crazy. But there was a lot to it. There was a lot to Nope that he, you know, Jordan really went for layers on that thing, and I was like,
are you gonna watch him?
It was dope. I'm gonna go check it out. I mean, I saw it wasn't getting good reviews, but you know, I'm gonna still check it.
I expected it. It didn't look like a movie that had a bunch of plot. It looked like a lot of messaging. But I don't know. From the trailer, I kind of picked up like it was like this, like what is it? I want to say like Devil's Advocate, along with super surreal,
like He Got Game type thing. You know, it was this thing of where like I don't know, just from the trailer, it just seemed like, oh, you have to sacrifice this in order to get this type of fame or whatever. But you know, like I said, I do want to check it and you know, support and everything. I just didn't do it this weekend, so probably coming up soon.
I think it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out.
It just came out.
Is it came out today? Oh, that's right. That's right. Because I'm saying this. Yeah, but
I wouldn't expect you to see
it. Was a premiere. It was a premiere. That's what it was. Because a lot of my friends saw it already. So they was like, oh man, it was, you know, I just saw it. So you know, they had some things to say about it. But.
So you're an all-encompassing content creator, actor, and all that stuff. Like, where do you see yourself? Like, you know, the direction that you think you want to head.
I feel like right now I'm moving more into the narrative. You know, I feel like I've done the performance part, and it's been great. I've been able to live off it, you know, full time, and it's been great. And it's like I think that when you are just a performer, many times you don't have control over the narrative, so you don't really have, say, a major voice as someone who, say, writes the project or directs the project. And I feel like I'm moving more towards that. You know, I feel like just having
directed a short film.
Yeah. So it was a short that I directed, and it's a great experience, man. We had a lot of fun. I was able to work with a lot of people that I just enjoy working with, and we just it's actually started off as a proof of concept, you know, because I actually now just wrote a pilot to it, and so it started off as a proof of concept. We did 2 scenes, 2.5 scenes, and just something short, sweet. Threw it through the festival run. It's been in the circuit. It's been premiering at different festivals. We were just at Martha's Vineyard, the African American Martha's Vineyard Festival.
That's dope.
And it was dope, man. We had great reception, and so now we've got 2 more festivals coming up. We've got Chelsea Film Festival coming up in New York, and we have Micho Film Festival in Culver City.
So do they offer to buy your film there, or
there's options. They're like I've been meeting a lot of people. You know, filmmaking is interesting, man. It's really like I feel like filmmakers, you really are like a cook in the kitchen. You kind of get your ingredients. You know, if you make a spaghetti or whatever, that you get your ingredients, and you kind of like, all right, well, I got to chef this thing up. I got to put it together, and it's not like as an actor, you just get on set. Here go your lines. Say this. Hit the mark. Blah, blah, blah. You good to go. All right, thank you. Have a good one. You know, but it's like when you directing, you writing and all of that, you got to come up with the play. You got to be like, okay, in this scene, it's going this, and this, and this is how we're going to block it, and this is how we're going to shoot it, and this is how we're going to.
Right.
It's a lot, man. It's like, so you have this, this almost like a newfound, say, weight on your shoulder, if you will, because everybody looks to you. They're like, well, what are we doing next? So now you're like, okay, all okay, we're gonna go with this now, and then so people look to you for the the answers, if you will, because it's your vision. You have to put the vision together, and then because a lot of people can't see it in your head, because it's like that's the most beautiful thing about directing, and it's like you have a vision in your head, and to be able to write that down, but then also see it on the screen, you kind of go like, damn, that's kind of crazy. That went from literally thought to screen. It's kind of dope. So
yeah, so that short movie, you're looking to make it more into a TV show?
Yeah, that one is gonna be. I'm taking it out soon and pitching as a series, and so it's more at the end, and it's an anthology series, and so each season is gonna be based on a different story, and but yeah, it's one of those things where you just put the work together, put the stuff together, and just see who resonates with it. You just put it out there, because you never know. It could be something that you're like, oh, this is trash, but then you put it out there and people love it. Or you could put out something you're like, man, this is gonna be dope, and then people hate it. It's always, you can never really. Art is so subjective. You can't really pinpoint what people are gonna like. Do
you ever just think about saying, just even like going and grab a group of your friends, because it looks like everybody in this kind of TikTok industry, just create a page and just go crazy?
Yeah, we've discussed that. We have a group chat where a lot of us are in, where we just we've discussed different ideas like that. It's tough trying to say crystallize something like that, because many times people, when you have many creatives, so many people are thinking of the thing that their vision. So it's like to bring. It's kind of like saying, hey, Spielberg, Scorsese, Coppola, all of them just come together and they do one big movie. You'd be like, that might be all over the place. You never know, because everybody has a different vision. For each director, they become visionaries. They have like what they see.
I can see that being an issue.
Yeah, so sometimes it could be just maybe just a clash in what you see, or how everybody has a different editing style, different music selection, different visual interpretation. So you could get into a little conflict with it. You're like, yeah.
I could definitely see that.
But you could collab, though. I mean, there's people
do you see yourself like, let's say, doing a feature, like grabbing them?
I'm writing a feature. I'm writing a feature right now. I'm in the midst of writing a feature, and so we'll see. I mean, that one's going to be a thing of where, I want to do it independently. Just one of those things where I would love to take it out and do a festival run with it, and see if I get a buyer. See if I get somebody on board. I mean, but it's really just all about writing what putting stuff out there that you feel is authentic to you, and and then go from there. I mean, that's how you stay away from AI and all of that BS. Not calling it BS, but it's Yeah,
because before I became, I guess, a podcaster, I did study, to do movies and all that stuff. Yeah. And like basically, like the short film is basically you're showcasing your skills. You're showcasing an idea, because sometimes they do buy it. Like you sometimes see in Netflix, Amazon, it's like, oh, look at this package of shorts, and it's like 10 to 15. But the feature is what they really buy, I guess, in some festivals.
Because the feature, investors can make money back. I've made a little bit of money on there. There was a short I did called Comic Escape, and made a little bit of money from that, but it wasn't a lot. It was one of those things where I got a call and somebody was like, hey, we want to put it on our platform. So they have like a streaming platform for short films, and so they put it on there. And but it's not really a lot of money in short films. But features, you get a feature and you get a buyer, you could make a lot of money depending on what it is exactly. So
actually I need to talk to because I did sell a short for like $180 for like a 3-year showing it. But the fucking contract has expired now for like a few years. I need to talk back to
you
them.
Directed it, or you?
It was like a student film that because it was made in Spanish, some shorts, whatever, like Spanish, like hey, here's a here's a money. But then I had to put it unlisted on my. I'm like, okay, then it's been unlisted. But I don't think they ever put it up. They just gave me some money.
They gave you the money, and then
it's like I was looking for it, and I haven't searched it up like in 3 or 4 years.
Oh, okay. I mean, check it out. Short films are never doubt the power of a short film. They giving Oscars out for short films. I got people I know
count, though.
What do you mean?
Like if you're like a director, actor, it's like, what I guess they give it to the producers like, yeah, I got an Oscar. It was a short film.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, because I'm a sports guy. It's like this. Some people be like, man, they only won by 1 point, but they won
all day.
They got the W.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you get the Oscar. It's like you can be like, well, I got it for a short film. You got the Oscar though. So it's like, can you sit around and can anybody say they have an Oscar? It's like, nah, you got an Oscar for the short. You got an Oscar.
Kobe Bryant got an Oscar for a short.
He got an Oscar, yeah. Matthew Cherry got an Oscar for Hair Love. What's his name? Wes Anderson does all features, but he got an Oscar for his short.
Oh, he got an Oscar for.
He got the Oscar for the sugar joint.
Oh, the most recent one.
The joint, the Netflix joint.
Yeah, he released like 3 or 4. Okay,
yeah, he did. Yeah, Netflix gave him a little package of shorts, and he got an Oscar for it. So it's like, okay, I mean, at the end of the day, he got an Oscar. You kind of go. And it's a competitive Oscar. It's not just here you go, Oscar.
He's fighting against people. Yeah.
So I don't look. I'm not opposed to it. Sure, I'll take a.
So what's next for you?
Oh man, I think right now, man. Like I said, I'm more into the narrative right now. I think fatherhood has been so dope for me. I've taken a little backseat, if you will, and just really have gotten rhythmically like into that, getting family together. I got a child on the way. You know what I'm saying, and have a daughter as well, and it's dope, man. Me and my wife, we just kind of getting in that rhythm and that groove, and I feel like that has given me so much texture, and where like I just it's helping me write. It's helping me just get into a zone where it's like, okay, I can write these things and now put them out there. So I feel like there are going to be some cool projects coming up that I've, hopefully I can direct and write. But yeah, I got a good feeling about it. It's been good, and I've been getting great responses from the short. And like I said, it's a short, but you kind of go like, well, you never know. It's like people have been like, oh man, this is dope, man. I want to see this. I'm like, all right. So I got a company right now pushing the pilot. So like I said, we're going to take it out and see what's up, see if we can get it going. And then aside from that, of course the acting stuff, it's here and there. It's like, we'll see what happens. It's like, you never know in the industry. You kind of take these dips, if you will. I think with the pandemic, it kind of dipped a little bit, where it's like, I have a bunch of friends that, they're like, oh man, it kind of dipped or whatever. And so it happens. So it's like, you get this place of where you kind of go, okay, it's the valley now. But while you're in the valley, you got to say, okay, what am I doing now in the valley to make sure, when I'm back on the mountaintop, it hits. So yeah. I think, it's
awesome.
gonna be good, though.
That's cool.
Thank you for joining us.
Man, man, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for having me, man. This is dope. Like, Jeru hit me and was like, Fonz, come on down. I was like, all right, what's up?
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.